Hey everybody, my name is Tanner,
And I'm Kristin.
and together we have a business called Cacao Connection, and we host ceremonies, and we just wanted to make a little video just to share a little bit about ourselves and how we use cacao. And so we have been using cacao for just over 4 years now. My mom originally introduced us to cacao in its pure form. She came back from a trip to Mexico and she had Keith's paste, and she started sharing ceremonies, and we really enjoyed helping her with her ceremonies and learning, and then also starting to eat the beans, which kind of was quite transformational for us.
And then one thing led to the next, and we found ourselves headed to Lake Atitlan the following New Year in early 2015.
Yeah, and it really was a couple in Mexico who inspired us to get out of our own way, as Keith would say, to host ceremony, and that we were capable.
We thought we were going to the lake for a week, and we ended up there almost 2 months in the New Year of 2015.
And we spent, a lot of time on the porch with Keith, sat in as many of the ceremonies as we could make it to, helped to bag a whole bunch of cacao while we were there. It was awesome to be a part of that bagging process, a lot of fun to meet the people and just be in a fun flow with everybody. It was really cool.
We started using the cacao every day and probably close to a ceremonial dose for almost those whole 2 months. And we started doing a bit of fasting and really cleaning out our systems and really working with the cacao on a deeper level every day, and sort of a dieta with the cacao. And we went on some drumming journeys and some meditation sessions on our own, in addition to joining in Keith's ceremonies for those 2 months. We got a very clear message that we were being called to take a lot of cacao with us back to Canada when we left. And so we did. We said to Keith and Barbara, we'd like to take 150 pounds of your magical cacao in our car.
It was really quite amazing to see the transformation that happened for people. So we just thought, man, this is too good not to share. So yeah, then 2015, I guess, was the first year that we really took off and started hosting our own ceremonies.
We actually stopped to count up approximately how many ceremonies we've hosted, just out of curiosity, and we've been keeping a pretty accurate log of them over the last 3.5 years. And it turns out we've hosted just about 70 ceremonies now, and kind of feels like a blur.
When we first started hosting, we drew a lot on what my mom had shared with us, and also the information that Keith shared with us when we were there, and then just over time things evolved. We evolved. We have changed a lot how we host the ceremonies. We like to host a ceremony for about 3 to 4 hours, if possible, is better, and it seems to go so fast when you're all together.
Yeah, actually, we've had so many people comment that ceremonies go by too fast and they don't want to go home. And so last winter, we had an invitation to rent a small retreat center in Mexico. And we did it. And it was one of the craziest things we've ever done, and one of the biggest learning opportunities we've ever had together in 6 years. We decided to host 1-week retreats focused on yoga, meditation, and cacao. And we called it the Spirit of Cacao Retreat.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome to have more time to integrate what came up for people during the ceremonies, to just have time to share together, in a community type setting with, really good people who were wanting to dive in and see, what was below the surface of their existence. So yeah, it was pretty neat.
We even grew a baby cacao tree kind of accidentally that we discovered on the very last day of our 5.5 months on site there, which was quite symbolic for us. And it was a symbol of new beginnings and, don't stop now, you've just started.
Yeah.
So that was really special.
Yeah, just following where we're guided to go. Sometimes you're not sure, but then the phone rings or someone calls and says, oh yeah, come and host at my place, or I know of a place, or so it's been really quite magical to just see where it's taken us, and yeah, it's hard to fathom that we're here, from where we started 3.5 years ago. It's been kind of freeing to not have a plan a lot of the time, to just see where people are at and then just go with wherever we feel called to take things. It's kind of flowing with what you're given, not having a set in stone, instruction manual that you have to check off all the things on your list. So
flexibility and intuition are really important. It's a new adventure every time we sit down in a ceremony, and we've started working privately with couples, which has been amazing and so beautiful for us and for them, and we learn something new every time. Cacao was sort of an ambassador for us into the world of plant medicines. And after we were introduced to cacao, we started working with other plant medicines, and it's taken us to a place where I certainly could have never imagined my life would be. And I think the biggest thing that all the plant medicines have done for me, and probably for both of us, was to help us examine more deeply what has gone on in our lives and what was holding us back from being who we are now. And we're probably still only being and living a very small part of what's possible for us. And I feel that we owe a lot of that to cacao. It was kind of the friendly little plant medicine that came to start opening our hearts wider and wider. And then with the use of yoga, meditation, and other plant medicines, it's opened up the whole wide world. And it just kind of feels like everything's possible now. And every day's an adventure. Yeah. It really is. If you'd like to find out more information about us and Cacao Connection, we have a website. It's cacaoconnection.info. And we're also on Facebook as Cacao Connection and Instagram as cacao.connection. So we hope to interact with you in any or all of those places, and especially in person at some point.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Have a good day.